So, I'm sure you're probably wondering what this band is for, and I know many of you probably have some kind of band that's in your house, whether it's red, yellow, green, blue. Resistance bands are great. You can do a number of things with them to work on posture and just exercises in general. Now, the one that I have here is a red one. Usually the color is based on resistance, so yellow is easier than red, green's harder than red, so it all varies. But any band that you have, you can use a number of ways, as long as the tension is there. So this is easier because my hands are further apart. Closer together my hands get, the harder it is. So it's always good to make sure that whatever band you have, depending on how you can use it to its max potential. All right? So let's talk about a couple of things you can do with these bands. Shoulder tees, talking about posture again, right? And again, if you're going to be in your chair and you can't do a lot of certain things, shoulder tees are great to work on the muscles that are, again, in that posterior chain, and the muscle that stabilizes the shoulder, and work on posture in general. So, my hands are going to be upright, or they can be neutral, right? You're going to find that resistance where you can bring that band across your body, making a T formation, right? You see my T. My hand's not going to be down this way, not too high up either. They're right in line with my torso, right? My pectoral line. My arms are going to be out, extended fully to abduction, right? And all you need to do is basically pull those bands as far as you can out, right to where the body is going to be in a T formation, and then back in. You can do 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 15, etc. Great to work on posterior chain muscles, great to work on things you can do sitting down in your chair. And if you can't get out to the gym and you want to work on shoulder stability, this is the best way to do it. And I'm even feeling this right now. I've only done 5 or 6 of these things. So, and it's with a red band. There are higher bands than this. So, the best way is just to kind of get out there and start doing these things on a regular basis. Those are called shoulder tees. You can also work on PNF patterns. PNF patterns, PNF stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. There are a number of different angles and diagonals you can use for these certain things. It's usually used for neurological patients who have spinal cord injuries and such, but in this situation, you can work on things that are functional, reaching, right? Everybody has to reach for something either up above, down below, right? These are all movements that we kind of do. Fixing our hair, fixing our bra straps, reaching behind you, right? To grab that kid in the back seat, whatever the case may be. So, in your chair, you can do a number of things with these bands, right? If I anchor this band down, I use my foot to kind of anchor down this way, I can work on some good diagonals. Again, work on posture, right? And again, posterior chain stuff. So, this is called a D2 flexion orientation, or D2 flexion pattern. My hand kind of starts like I'm pulling the sword out of my knife, or a knife out of my holster, and I'm coming all the way out into a flexion of the shoulder, right? A little bit of abduction, a little bit of external rotation, and you'll feel that, not just in the shoulder stability and stuff, but also in your scapula, in your upper trap, even like the side of your neck. That's a great posterior chain movement that also works on function, right? How many times have you tried to reach behind you and you've had some discomfort, some pain? It's the best way to kind of work on a functional movement that you can do at your chair. Now, as long as you're allowed to do it, and people are not going to start looking at you crazy, you can do these 3 sets of 10. Again, I'm coming in like I'm pulling the sword out, and I'm pulling that sword out all the way up. My posture does not change, right? I'm not sitting here overcompensating. I'm nice and straight the entire time. I'm coming in, I'm going back out. Number 3. If you do get a chance to stand up, you can do some gap retractions. If your chair is going to be a high chair, you can put that band around that chair any way you can. As long as the chair doesn't move, like this one's probably going to move, but if your chair does not move, you can do some light upright rows. Upright rows are pretty cool. You can just kind of take those same bands, elbows up, and work on, again, working on posterior chain muscles. Upright rows, very, very simple. My knees are nice and aligned with the chair. My elbows coming up to about 90 degrees, right? My hands are close towards me, and I have the resistance of this band to make sure that it's not going to be an easy workout. I can also do my rows here if I wanted to. If I had a high chair, it'd be easier. But these bands make for a number of good exercises you can do. They're going to be very, 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 very simple. So, you can also, if you wanted to, work on lower extremity stuff. So, take those same bands, put them right around your ankles if you can. And again, the tighter they are, the more resistance. So you can kind of adjust that the way you want to. If I take those same bands, right? And I'm still at my desk. I can do so many things. I can do standing hip abduction, right? I'm not bending over to do this. I'm nice and straight. You know, legs are parallel, shoulder width apart, and against a short chair for me, but your chair will be a little higher. And all I'm doing is bringing the leg up to the side, and I'm bringing it back in. Working on the glutes, glute med, right? Those muscles that you need to do a number of different things, not just standing on one leg, but also walking and running. Those muscles that, you know, we might not have a chance to really work out because we're doing so much work, you can work on them right here, standing at your desk. Hip extensions, glute max. Everybody wants to work on glute max, right? So it's a good way just to work on muscles. Again, I'm not leaning forward, I'm not leaning backward, my body is neutral, and all I'm doing is using that same band just to work on the glutes, right? Nice and simple, nice and easy. So again, hip abduction, glute medius, hip abduction or extension, glute maximus, and again, even if you wanted to, some hip flexor stuff. I'm still at my chair. You may even want to step on that if it doesn't really move too much, but I'm working on hip flexors, or the hip flexors. The muscles that you need to go up and down stairs, that you need to catch that bus, that you need to make sure that when you start moving, you have some good lift to step over certain things. These are all things that you can just do literally at your desk. They're not going to be too strenuous on your body, but will still be very effective. We can't forget heel raises. You can do those things every single day. And again, that stretch that we did for the gastroc and the soleus, this is the exercise you do to work on those muscles. So if you have good balance, you can do it without anything. But if you need to hold on to something, like I'm not rolling my ankles out, they're nice and straight, they're nice and parallel. Nice and parallel, I'm just going to raise myself up and down. The best way to work on these things is just to literally work on them. 3 sets of 15, 3 of 20, etc. These are all things you can do that are going to be super duper easy for you to do in your workspace, and you may have some friends who want to join you while you're doing it. And then when you get real cool, you can add things like chair dips and all kinds of other fun things, which, you know, these are all things that you can just do literally on your lunch break to work on those triceps. We actually stretched out those triceps when we did that stretch a little earlier, right? That inferior capsule stretch is actually a tricep stretch. So when it's all stretched out, you can say, you know what, let's work on those bad boys. And again, my butt's gonna be close to that chair. My elbows are going to be on here. I'm going to actually bend from my elbows coming down. My butt's will still be close to the chair. I'm going to be coming up. And you can go up and down as far as you can, or as far as you can control, for as many reps as you want. 310s, 315s, etc. There are so many things you can do at your workstation. Chair push-ups. Oh my gosh, we're never going to leave. Right? Super duper simple, right? If you were just to do literally a push-up in your chair. Right? And again, for those who have issue with these things, if you bend the knees, it'll be a little less body weight, but for the most part, everyone should at least be able to do a table or chair push-up. If that's too hard for you, scratch that chair. Use your table. Go to your desk. Your desk is going to be about this high, right? Do the same thing on your desk. Just regular chair push-ups. If that's too hard for you, scratch all that and pick a wall. There are so many things you can do literally at your job. I mean, you can just stay at your job and you work out all day if you wanted to. But figuring out what's the best for you, what you're trying to work on. If you're someone who knows that it's a postural thing, work on posture first. If it's someone you know where your posture's pretty good, but you're just kind of weak because you've just been working so many hours, work on strengthening. Grab a band, do those certain things. And if it's both, then hey, you gotta do both. Upper extremity, lower extremity. Doesn't matter what you do or how you get it in, you have to do something. Like my boy said, health is wealth, so let's get it.